Another double feature, this time two documentaries. The first is Shock Docs Season 2 Episode 1. I'm doing a double review of documentaries because there is not much footage to show about these, and there is a lot of repetition to the already accessed information, so I see no point giving and these reviews try to concentrate more on the theatrical releases and not documentaries of the real case. The first one is Shock Docs Season 2 Episode 1, Amityville Horror House, the episode's title. I bring it up because for some reason streaming sites put this on as a movie, but it was just an episode of a series. The docu starts with the first movie's influence. It attributes its success to its realism and also branches from here to the paranormal and tourism. The gimmick of this is using a ton of archive footage from the investigations, the line of people waiting to buy tickets to the movie and all that. That and the distorted images from the first movie to recreate the murders, because we of course talk about that. And when even that is not available, they do recreations. This one blames the murders only on Ronald, but leans on the possession aspect. Insanely, if you want. The place of the advertisement blocks are obvious, as this was made for commercial TV. Point is, at 12 minutes they start to switch to the Lutzes. Here the docu entirely leans on the demonic activity story and presents Mr. Lutz as afraid instead of what he more likely was, an aggressive, easy to anger asshole. What I'm really start to be interested is, where did the flies come from? I mean, there definitely had to be something they feasted upon, and none of the sources say anything about what that was, whether people even searched for the source of the swarm. Dead animals, rotten food, leaking sewage. At the 50 minutes mark we reach the point when the Lutzes moved out of the house. That part goes into the real selling point of Shock Docs, the paranormal investigations. What this comes down to me is the Lutzes contacted the DFO lawyer to make a stronger ghost story, to raise money, to pay the mortgage on the property, but their own lawyer sniffs real money in all this and starts organizing book and movie deals. What is too much for the Lutzes, who draw to the background. Around 1 hour 10 minutes it is practically told to you. The scam did not bring in enough money for the Lutzes to keep the house, so they gave it back to the bank. Otherwise, this section is nothing else but Sasquatch hunting. Now, Amityville, an origin story, is a 4-parter docu-miniseries. The first episode is about the Lutzes and their spooky story, led at the last minutes to the DFOs. Episode 2 is about the DFOs, the murder and the aftermath, the prosecuting case and such. Pretty much the only thing now they fall back as some kind of defense, beside the insanity plea, is that no one woke up on the shooting. Well, it's a big house with knowingly bad family behavior, who shouted and hurt each other all days. Plus, it was 3:15 when everyone is in deepest sleep, so my guess is no one cared anymore. The brawl was probably so accustomed to the people simply sat through pretty much anything. That's my theory. And this why no one woke up excuse is in direct conflict with the insanity plea anyway. Which is it then? He did it because he genuinely heard voices, or he didn't because people should have woken up for the shots. At the 35th minute of the second episode, we entirely switch by a simple cut to the paranormal investigations. No transitions. It is not just the last 10 minutes credits included, but a simple cut to the chase. Episode 3 is about how the Lutzes lived through and hyped by the ambiguity of their story, the Amityville phenomena, the movie deal, the book deal, the media sensation. The second half of the episode is every single person telling whatever the Lutz heaped up as the Amityville horror was pure bullshit. This is very surprising to me. No other documentary challenged the case this way. Of course, to diminish this damage, they bring up the movie promotion tours where the bearded guy claims the Lutzes at least were honest about something happening, and the polygraph test, which is as trustable to uncover truth as medieval torture. It only measures emotional reactions to the questions, not telling you what the emotion is working. And also at this point the Lutzes were repeating the lie so long, through literally years, that any emotional reaction would have diminished. Even worse, they might have started believing their own lies. And this is weirdly balanced out at 35-40 when James Brolin, challenging the Lutz story's accuracy of details, and the camera, or the editor of the docu, even zooms on Mrs. Lutz's face, who clearly shows a reaction of being caught. At the 46th minute, we learn there were no flies. Even that was fiction. So that's about that. Episode 4 is Christopher Lutz blaming his father that he intentionally bought the house to pull the stunt. I pretty much disbelieve that. Yes, they got accustomed to the income from the stories. Yes, they started manufacturing the stale originally. Yes, they were the ones originally starting to manufacture the tale, but I genuinely think when they bought the house, they genuinely wanted to just move in. But they overspent and the marriage did not exactly work out fine, so they wrote off the $80,000 investment and readjusted their priorities. Episode 4 is not just one topic and a bit of a hodgepodge compared to the previous 3 episodes because of it, but I strongly think if you are interested in the real life portion of the Amityville story, this is the episode you should watch. The other 3 tells nothing you didn't hear or shows things in a new perspective. Episode 4 does. But if you come away from it as this whole documentary is just Chris Lutz coming like his father for a paycheck, I can't blame you, because in a sense he does. The ending credits for episode 4 is absolutely hilarious. They put a bunch of the low budget DVD covers into it, and I was dying of laughter when I saw this one.